Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it, and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today, we're discussing the 2010 interpretation of the classic Heuer Monaco Chronograph. This timepiece, 39 millimeters and more square than any other distinct shape, whereas pretty much that way on the wrist, feeling like a 39 millimeter square timepiece, reasonably slim at 14.4 millimeters. You can see there's a little bit of a sloped lip to the bezel and the crystal to slide underneath the jacket cuff, and it does have a lug-to-lug dimension a bit beyond the bare dimension of the case, spanning 47.5 millimeters. I can endorse this watch for wrists as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference, though it's not terribly broad from lug to lug. It does have a blockish feel on the wrist, so I wouldn't recommend it for the smallest of wrists. And again, for reference, my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. It has a nice broad stance, though it's a vintage style. The 22 millimeter lug spacing means this one is very much designed with modern styling idioms in mind. Broad lug spacings are very contemporary. Now, the watch itself is a simple affair, nicely executed, that's more of a nod to the past than a true vintage re-edition. We'll start with the strap. You can see that the strap is a dark navy blue, lightly bolstered. It features a sheer cut on its side, so you can actually see the layers of construction. There's a monotone navy blue stitch, and on the underside you can see the calf skin. It is a new TAG Heuer strap. I'm actually going to withdraw the strap from its minder system. You can actually see how it all goes together. This is why there are no perforations on the strap, and there's no need for minder loops on the opposite side. When the whole thing is sized and crimped for your wrist, you will not see any excess length or minder loops. To jump back inside, withdraw the strap, close back up the clasp, and talk a little bit about its composition. You can see it's polished externally. It's a twin trigger release, so it's very secure. You have to positively disengage those triggers to open up the clasp. Inside, it's a crimping system, so it hides all excess length underneath the clasp body and the strap. So a very clean look. A clean look, and one that is really driven by the aesthetic of the case, as the strength of these geometries give the watch its enduring appeal. Now, this is a shape first seen in 1969 and made famous on the wrist of Steve McQueen in the movie Le Mans. You can see that it's an angular and harsh design born of 1960s and 1970s modernist sensibilities. There are polished elements, principally on the lug hoods as well as the upper facing of the bezel, and then there are satin elements, principally the flanks of the case. So you can see there's a little bit of a downturned polished flank on each side. The lugs are simple but strong. You can see they barely jut out from the case. They do break hard in 90 degrees with the case band, and I like that because it gives the watch a sort of machine ethic that's in step with its image as a motorsports chronograph. You'll also note an upgrade from previous 38 millimeter TAG Heuer Monacos. We go from 38 to 39, and we go from plexiglass to sapphire. This watch has a dramatic, angular, and beautifully faceted box section sapphire that helps to prevent scratching, but also adds a little bit of thickness to the case and contributes to those hard, angular corner geometries with its unusual, almost gem-like cut and finishing. The dial is a sunburst blue, and as you can see, there are twin counters. You have constant seconds at 3 o'clock. You have chronograph minutes over at 9. Luminescent indices inboard of diamond-polished and rhodium-coated steel indices for the hours, and then you have red varnish for chronograph seconds, constant seconds, and chronograph minutes. It is a loomed dial. There will be a loom shot. A few changes from the original dial, which featured a less vivid, more matte finished blue, which featured a frame for the date, which featured flush counters rather than the countersunk counters you have here, as well as horizontal bars for the indices. Also distinct from the original, which would have featured a crown on the 9 o'clock side, this is not the original Calibre 12 or Calibre 11, and you'll note that you have a sort of elongated a polygonal shape rather than the knurled circular chronograph pushes of the original. You can see that to good effect. Turning it all over, you can see what powers this watch. TAG Heuer calls this Calibre 12. I call it a Sellita SW300-1 with the Dubois de Praz vertical clutch chronograph mechanism on top. So it's a modular chronograph, and you can see that, and the pushers are above the center line of the crown. So 40-hour power reserve, automatic winding. It features a 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate. It features a stop seconds function. It features a top finished grade of the SW300, so it's not base, it's not elaboré. That is a high-grade splayed spoke balance wheel like you'll find on top or chronometer grade, so I applaud the use of an upscale grade of SW200 for the base. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, which is a nice feature to have, and one that would have been lacking on the original. The original was a motorsports chronograph, but land-based motorsports, not offshore power boats. With the water resistance of this one, you're all right. If you fall off the deck of your yacht during the Monaco Grand Prix, your watch will be in good stead. You can see and own this one on the watch box. Tag Heuer Monaco, hacking seconds, quick set date, and fully loomed on the dial side.